Driving a taxi cab should be a requirement or a prerequisite for life.
When I go home at night and I sit on my sofa, my body's still vibrating from the motions of the car.
What do I like? The money. That's it. I don't like the customers.
I was surprised, like there's some street that exists in the city I never knew about, even though after driving a few years.
Taxi driving is like fishing because when you pick somebody up, you never know if they're going to want to just go around the block, we call that a shorty, or they're going to want to go all the way to Oshkosh.
You know, you meet so many different people, but yet you're alone.
In New York City, taxi cabs are part of the landscape. They are at the heart of the city's central nervous system. New York could not run without them. 13,000 yellow cabs, 240 million passengers every year, a $2 billion business, and 42,000 cab drivers. 82% of cabbies, that's how New Yorkers call yellow cab drivers, are foreigners attracted by the American dream.
I'm from India.
I am from Bangladesh.
Lebanon.
From Turkey.
Why so many immigrants? Because by working 12 to 16 hours a day, you can earn a lot. Well, much more than in your country of origin.
Originally, I'm a Greek.
I'm from Pakistan.
I'm Romanian, from Romania.
New York is a huge melting pot where everything is done to welcome new immigrants. Each community tries, nevertheless, not to forget its own culture. You can feel at home very quickly here, especially if you found a good job.
This is one great job for people that just came in this country, you know, immigrants and this and that. It's a tough job, very tough, but make you easy living.
At airports, waiting time for a driver can be from 2 to 3 hours for a $30 to $40 fare into the city.
Here you can find anywhere from 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning until 10:30, 11 o'clock at night. You can find probably at least 1,000 taxis constantly.
So the parking lot sometimes turns into a recreation or a game room.
It's actually a break for the cab drivers. You know, it's really, you have to hustle in New York. It's, as everybody knows, it's a tough traffic and it's very, you know, it's not easy to be a cab driver in New York. So we take the opportunity here to, you know, to take a break.
Is 1010 Winds. News, weather, traffic, and more. On air, online, and on demand at 1010winds.com.
Now the lottery numbers on 1010 Winds in New York. The daily 442, lucky sum 10. For traffic and transit on the ones, and here's Bill Gagan.
First heading downtown with the FDR Drive, still slowing just a bit between the Manhattan Bridge and the Brooklyn Bridge, and that roadwork with the Cross Bronx Expressway. Eastbound, couple lanes are closed over by the Bronx River Parkway.
In New York, most cab drivers begin and end their day in the garage from which they rent their vehicle. Here, you notice that not all drivers are recent immigrants.
I'm retired from corporations, so I got bored at home and I need something to do, so I do this part-time.
Well, I've been a businessman before. I became old. I'm 62 years old now, so I choose to keep on working, so I'm a taxi driver now.
99% of New York cab drivers are men. That leaves 1%. Jill Pfeiffer.
It's just a very natural progression in my life to become a cab driver.
Most drivers led totally different lives before entering the world of driving a taxi.
I have done so many different things. I was a medical secretary. I was a sales girl in Bloomingdale's. I was a math tutor.
I'm not professional, you know, doctor, engineer, you know. That's why I choose taxi.
There are no set channels to become a taxi driver. Above all, you must be willing to work to earn money. Hassan Majdi is of Palestinian origin.
I drove a limousine, I had a store, and before that I went to college. Strange combinations.
Thanks to numbered streets and rectilinear avenues, it's easy to find your way in New York. Whatever their origins, taxi drivers know their way around like the inside of their pocket.
They have learned the language and have learned the streets and know what they're doing and are very good at it. They are way better at it than I am. And I am from this city.
To drive a cab, you must be at least 19 years old, have a valid driver's license, take classes and an exam. Thierry Gilbert.
The city has mandatory requirements for people to receive their taxi licenses, and we provide those services, as well as optional services for people who have trouble with the English language and the geography and the map reading.
That intersection is called Times Square. Test question, where is Times Square?
42nd and Broadway.
42nd Street and Broadway. Okay, I'm at 42nd Street and Broadway.
To get a license in New York City is not that hard, but it can take some time.
In which district is Times Square?
Theater district.
The theater district.
The minimum requirement to get a New York City taxi license would be 3 days of training in taxi subjects, 1 day in defensive driving, and then you'd have to pass an exam, and the exams take anywhere from 3 to 4 hours.
No one knows taxi drivers better than former drivers. David Pollack was a cabbie for 32 years. Now he publishes a paper for cab drivers.
Having drivers from over 190 countries driving yellow cabs in New York City, you'll probably find a driver from your country.
And what do passengers think of cab drivers? Opinions vary.
I think they're interesting. A lot of people have a lot of them as patients. A lot of them have PhDs from their countries.
Not very polite, reckless driving.
Great drivers and very courteous, yes.
They know where everything is. Their driving skills are incredible, and they got good personalities.
Crazy.
They're okay, but they're not American.
Americans or not, they're often seen as a sort of ambassador of the city.
I think that we are diplomats in the sense that we are the first and last person that most people see in New York City.
Ambassadors, diplomats, cab drivers are a reflection of the city, and their cars icons. This belief dates back from the Checker, the famous yellow checkered cab that ran in the city for more than 40 years. By the way, why are yellow cabs yellow?
Because they're not black.
Why is the sky blue?
No, not really.
I have no idea. I'm not sure. Maybe it makes them more visible, especially at night.
To be different from normal cars?
There was a study done in the 1920s and by a university in the United States. And the findings of this study were that yellow is the most visible color amongst all other colors. And that's why yellow taxis are yellow.
But having a yellow car is not enough. A small but very important accessory is needed.
This is a medallion, the city license. In the 40s, it was $25. Today, it's going for $450,000. Cab drivers who want to own a cab mortgage it like they would a house.
The medallion is the real key to success. Having your own medallion, so as to not depend on a garage, is the dream of all New York cab drivers.
I'm Johnny Marks.
Like many drivers, Johnny Marks holds two jobs. He's also a photographer. When he's at the wheel, his camera is never far away.
Cab drivers are independent contractors. When they get their license, they are their own boss. That's the best thing about driving a cab. That's what attracts so many people.
Brett Dowdle is an actor. He drives a cab to pay his rent and to earn some extra money. He rents his cab by the week and shares it with a friend. That way, the car is on the streets 24 hours a day.
All right, so right now I'm about to pay my my weekly lease, which this week is going to be $12.50.
The people who work at the garage are not exactly people who are friendly and warm and charming. They're mean and nasty, and they just want your money.
I've worked at garages where they've kept me waiting 3 hours, 3.5 hours for a car, and then you have to take care of the dispatcher. You have to throw him a couple of dollars to get a car. Even that doesn't work. Usually I work minimum 12 hours. The one benefit that I have about renting a car myself is that I can pick and choose which hours I work.
Taxi drivers are often independent, individualistic, and solitary characters. But they're also explorers.
Driving a taxi is the best way to discover New York.
Every single day, I find something that I have never seen before.
The Lower East Side, an area located in southeast Manhattan. In New York, nothing ever stays still. Everything changes, even the neighborhoods. A few years back, the Lower East Side was a shady area, a place of ill repute, where many mafia bosses, among them Al Capone, started their careers. Today, the whole area is rapidly evolving.
Right now we're on Ludlow in Rivington. This is an area that's changed throughout the years. It's become real popular. As you can see, there's quite a few different shops around. There's a really popular candy store.
Biggest candy store in New York.
They have like a lot of like the old candy. I used to smoke these when I was a kid. These bubblegum cigars. I couldn't find them anywhere. I didn't think they made them anymore.
For Brett, a taxi driver must be inquisitive, always on the lookout for what is happening in the remote corners of the city. Music coming from somewhere? Let's open the door and find out.
If you go further up the block, there's art galleries off Rivington that they're hidden. I mean, you wouldn't even know they existed. They're up these streets.